Will your lawn care business survive in 2025? Can you adapt to any new changes that we may see in the future? G'day viewers, it's Jeff McPhee's Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. In Australia, we're pretty fortunate in the lawn and gardening industries. It has grown quite well over the last few years. I think this financial year they said it's grown by 8% and it'll probably continue to rise for the future. So we know that we've got a viable market in the future, but it's the changes, and this is what I want to talk about in this video, is I want to look at the challenges that we're going to find in 2025 and maybe find some solutions to adapt to any new changes so that we not only survive, but we're going to thrive. Looking into the future, it's always a concern because we really don't know what's going to happen. And customers, let's face it, nowadays, and especially in our area, they want more than just their lawns mowed. Since the pandemic, when everybody was home, locked up in their houses, weren't allowed to go anywhere, they wanted their backyards an oasis. And what happened in our area, that they didn't want just the lawn mowed, but they want their gardens to look fantastic so they can enjoy it. So the challenge was to move from just being the basic lawnmower man to providing an all-round service. I believe we're going to face a few challenges in 2025, starting with climatic conditions. Whether you like it or not, the climate is changing. We're getting more hot weather, we're getting more cold weather, we're getting more floods, we're getting more droughts. What we've got to do is we've got to find a way to manage the time of us allowing to work in those particular conditions. Gardens are changing, seasons are changing, plants are changing. They're flowering at different times, are acting differently. We need to observe very carefully and understand how they're changing so that we can adapt. But more importantly, to adapt to the weather conditions so that we have that continuity of work. Not sure what you're finding, but with customers these days, they're becoming more eco-friendly. Quite often they'll ask the question, are you using glyphosate? Are you using synthetic fertilisers? More and more customers are asking for a more organic solution, organic fertilisers. Have you considered using organic fertilisers? Weed control, rather than use a glypho, use a more natural product, such as a slasher, which is a product that burns the weed. Not as effective glypho, and that's the problem we're facing. We need to adapt to find out. But be aware, customers are becoming eco-friendly and they are starting to ask more questions nowadays. And that's understandable. I think if I had a young family again, I'd probably be a lot more concerned about the environment now than what I perhaps am at the end of my career. Personalisation in the new era of texting, online, it makes it so much harder to communicate with the customer, to sell yourself, because you're not face-to-face as often. You're competing online or via emails. Now, multimedia is fantastic for advertising. You can change your ad at an instant. You know, each day you can do a different advertising campaign. You can put it over many different places, Facebook, multimedias in Google ads, etc. There's so many different forums that you can provide your ads online. But of course, when you're competing against others online, it makes it so much harder because the customer can't see you. They're just looking at their computer to compare quotes. Maybe one thing that I've done over the past, and I'll certainly will do it in the future, I would suggest, is that they may be asking for a lawn mower. So the normal thing is most people say the quote to do this lawn will be X amount of dollars. Maybe we turn that around. Maybe we say, I'm going to provide a quote which is going to make your lawn look fantastic all year round, lovely edges. I'm going to provide a fertilisation program that your lawns are lush and green, so that the customer starts thinking about the outcome. They're thinking about, gee, I can have a nice lawn if I go with this guy. And therefore the price might not be as bad or might not be a factor in deciding between the two. And don't forget, upselling is the quickest and it's the easiest way to increase our profits. Competition. Competition is going to be more so in 2025 than ever before. Our industry is growing. Our industry is very lucrative. and therefore a lot of people are looking at it. A lot of companies are downsizing using AI, using robots, and therefore the number of employees required to run the business are not as much as they needed before. So that puts a lot more people out into the field of saying, let's start our own business. And because we're low entry, it's very lucrative to them. So we need to make sure that we are prompt, reliable, professional. We need to put ourselves above the new people entering the market. We can make sure that we're professional, that our outfit is professional, fully insured. Remember the perceived value that you're going to provide that customer. You're going to provide him quality workmanship, quality, reliability, prompt. That's going to far outweigh price, because a customer, if they see a perceived value in the workmanship and perceived value of your services, you're going to win every time. Remember, diversity is going to win hands down. Diversification of your services will put you above your competition. And remember, maintaining your modern equipment, looking to the future, working out what is the best type of equipment to execute that job at the highest standard. Smart technology in 2025 is certainly going to increase, is certainly going to keep going. Robotic mowers are becoming more popular, not overtaking yet. I do know a few contractors actually use robotic mowers rather than employ people. So whilst at the premises, the robotic mowers mowing the lawns, and they are tending to the gardens, the edges, pruning, hedging. They can do it all by themselves. So something to think about for the future. But it is happening now, robotic mowers. A1 in watering systems. The technology is getting so much more smarter, providing efficient watering systems. And the old story of battery versus petrol. Get your head out of the sand and please try battery. You've got to look at the different types of what's available. Battery have come a long way over the years. I can testify petrol has ruined my hearing. That's why I need hearing aids to function, because of petrol has done a bit of damage over the years. The fumes. There's a lot of scientific evidence that it's not the best for you. Yes, I know you say petrol's reliable, battery hasn't got the run time, it's not as strong. Until you've tried it, until you go out and demo these models, you'll never know. Look, at the end of the day, if it doesn't suit you, that is fine. But I think to move with the times, to get the head out of the sand and to consider the battery as part of your arsenal is going a long way, because people love that environment. I talked about the eco-friendly with the clients. It's so much more pleasing when you're hedging with a battery than petrol, the constant noise all day. You know, retirement villages, schools, play centres, etc., shopping centres, the less noise. People hate noise, and they hate blowers, the loud sound of blowers and petrol sounds drives people nuts. Something that I know a lot of people are against battery, but most people I talk to, once they try it, certainly come over to the other side. But there's so many brands out there, and there's so much technology that's gone a long way, it's at least worth considering. The biggest challenge is not what I've just mentioned. The biggest challenge is the inability to adapt to changes. Most businesses are operating on traditional and standard practices, and will find it difficult to meet the challenge of new changes in the future. Businesses need to adapt, need to be innovative to ensure that they can meet the future challenges. So what does it mean for us? Well, we need to be forward thinking. We need to continually keep moving to stay on top of the competition. We need to be able to adapt. We need to be able to invest in modern technology, invest in modern equipment, so that we'll make our business meet any new challenges that come before us. Traditional methods, some people have found it so easy, and I've been caught for that as well. It's so easy to fall in that complacency. But as the world continues to improve, evolve, Our industry is getting more professional these days. So you, to have a successful business, need to be as professional as everyone else. It's not all doom and gloom. If you're prepared to look ahead, prepared to understand what challenges can come about, you'll not only survive in 2025, you'll thrive. 2025 can be a golden year. Thanks, viewers. What do you think? Like, it's something that I thought a lot about. I believe changing is important in life, in business, in family life, looking to improve yourself, looking at the challenges ahead of you. Your thoughts, should you just say and mosey along as we're going? Is that the best way to go? Or should we be moving forward? See you in the next video. Bye.